What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Party on Broad. We are roughly 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. We're talking all the top storylines and question marks surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles. Joining me, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's good, Ryan?
Not much. We are 10 days, I believe, away.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's snuck up on us, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. What's up, Daniel?
What's going on, Daniel? Thanks for joining. Yeah, Marshawn, Rob.
Well, here, you know what? You were just too mean to him last time, and he's been crying ever since.
Yeah, we'll miss Rob for sure. But let's jump right into this thing. We're talking the perfect mock for the Birds, but we're also going to keep things realistic. If the Eagles stay at 32, 64, and 96, their day one and day two picks, what would be home run A+ selections for the Philadelphia Eagles? We're going to go through top three each for each pick. Ryan, lead us off, man. Let's start at number 32.
Listen, for me, I think right now, Rob Longerbeam. Well, good to know that's what's keeping you here, Marshawn. The Eagles need some help on defense. They certainly lost a lot of players, and they need to replenish a little bit. And for me, it's the interior of the line, and for me, it's also one Mr. Walter Nolan. This guy is an absolute stud. I think he would come in and just be such a tandem with Jalen Carter. I think he would honestly fill the role of that we lost with Milton Williams pretty much, very quickly. I think this guy can come in and be that guy. As Milton Williams was in that second half of the season in the playoffs. I think this is that guy for us. And then again, this kind of takes a little pressure off of Moro Ajomo getting more snaps and Jordan Davis and kind of figuring out what the heck we're doing with Jordan Davis. He is an absolute stud, Nolan. He's great at getting to the quarterback. He's great in the run game. He's a big dude. And honestly, he has a skill set I think that would work really well in Fangio's defense. So I'm going Walter Nolan. It looks like you are as well.
He's my number one, man. For all the reasons you said,
Yeah.
I think he can play inside. He can play outside. Needs a little bit of coaching at the next level in terms of being a pass rusher, run defender. But I think he's the perfect blend of first-round pick with that, best player available, ceiling. I think he has all-pro potential and Pro Bowl potential. But he also fits a position of need. He just would fit that rotation really well. Can fit even front, can fit an odd front. That versatility, man, is exactly what the doctor ordered. So I'm going Walter Nolan, just like you. I'll go second here, and I'm going to stay on the interior. And that dude is Derek Harmon at another defensive tackle, good size. Very similar to Walter Nolan in respect that he's got a lot of versatility. He can play inside, he can play outside, scheme diverse kind of dude. He can beat you in one-on-ones. He's got length, really good hand usage, amazing quickness off the line. He's a gap shooter. He could be a three-tech. I just like his fit with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's one of my favorite targets for them. Excellent mover, good athleticism. I think this would be a home run pick. Is he on your list?
He was, but I listened to make sure we don't have the same exact list. I'll take him off. But he is 1B to Walter Nolan's 1A. I feel like you get either of these guys, it's an absolute home run. I've always said the way I judge a great first round selection is whether or not he is jersey worthy. These two gentlemen, I would have to purchase a jersey for either of these guys for sure.
All right. Who's your number 2?
So I'm going to go with a safety, Malachi Starks. We just heard and reported that he's coming in to interview. He's one of the official top 30 visits. Malachi Starks is just, again, whether you think he's 1A, 1B top safeties, but he's a Georgia guy. You'll bring in another Georgia guy. And he is just honestly, he's a smart player. He is absolutely just an athletic guy. He can come up, when need be, but he's great in coverage. I just think he would fit in. He would fill the role left by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Because, again, I think it's a little scary kind of thinking about who's going to be starting opposite Reed, Blankenship. So give me Malachi Starks. Give me another Georgia dog in here. This guy would be a humongous upgrade, in my opinion, if he would fall to us.
He's so good, man. He's I think the perfect blend of a guy that can play as a deep safety, but also fill in the slot like a CJ Gardner-Johnson if needed. Really good run defender. Didn't have elite production in 2024, but he was also fighting injuries. But his 2023 tape was really solid. I would love that. Let's go to number 3. Maybe we'll have a different guy here. Do you want to go first or second?
No, go right ahead.
I'm going Donovan Ezeraku. I think if he falls to 32, and there's a chance, I think he would be a great selection. Needs to work on his abilities as a run defender, but just a pass rushing demon would really add, some very solid pass rushing in that rotation. He had 59 pressures and 18 QB hits last year. That led all FBS. And he also led all FBS defenders in sacks with 16.5 and quarterback hits, man. So his numbers, inside the numbers, 24% pass rush win rate. That was second among all edge draft eligible edge defenders. Doesn't have great size, 6'2", 248 pounds, but really good arm length, huge wingspan. Turn heads at the combine, a 4.67 40-yard dash. I like his fit with Vic Fangio's defense because I think he can do really well in that hybrid Fangio scheme. He can fit in a 3-4, a 4-3. He can shed blocks, elite bend off the edge. Ezeraku, man, I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think he can get coached up with that run defense, and I think he's the real deal. Give me Donovan Ezeraku.
Yeah, listen, he also is a top 30 visit. And, again, our great, one thing you can tell that the Eagles like to do is, they do like to get guys that they have come in for visits. And, when I was thinking about my last guy, I wanted to make sure it was somebody that was on this list. Somebody like James Pierce Jr., I think is something that, just thinking about how great he was last year, his name is just kind of like, man, wouldn't that be fantastic to end up getting a guy who perceived to fall? But I'm going to stick to that position, but I am not going to go James Pierce, unfortunately. I am switching out because he was not an official 30 visit, top 30 visit. I'm going to go with Nick Scorton. From Texas A&M. This is a guy that did come in for a top 30. He's got an insane quick first step that allows him to hit those gaps, and is fantastic in the run game because of that. But can certainly get to the quarterback. He's a bigger guy. One can kind of say that maybe he could go inside. I think I had it listed at like 285. Here, I know you have it here at 280, but Yeah, he's just a powerful guy, and he's just super athletic for somebody that big. It's got great set of moves, especially that spin move, and yeah, he's just a guy that he's a high motor guy, and again, they brought him in for a reason, and I think typically our first couple of rounds, first 2-3 rounds, are guys that we bring in. So I'm gonna go Nick Scorton, same position as you, but figure. Yeah, I mean, Ezraku was somebody we brought in too, so I think I'd be certainly happy with either of those guys or James Pierce. I'm just saying.
I like Nick Scorton. I said on the Armchair Scouts, I think he's one of the biggest boomer bust prospects in the first round, right there with Shamar Stewart. Doesn't have elite explosiveness, and I do think he kicks inside and does a lot what we saw from Brandon Graham. Like Brandon Graham would jump inside on rundowns or pass downs, things like that. So yeah, he's a question mark. But did you see that photo of him and Brandon Graham?
I did. Yeah.
He made Brandon Graham look tiny.
Oh, like, yeah. I know Brandon Graham is kind of a tweener, smaller guy, but Jesus, it's like two different animals.
Yeah. You can see like give Nick Scorton like NFL trainers and the weight room, and he's going to be a big guy. Yeah. He's kind of got that like wide frame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pumper just said something here. There's top 30 visits and over 8.0 in the RAS scores. That's something that our good buddy Anthony DeBona tweeted about the other day. And you're absolutely right. It's something that's pretty important, for Howie and the Eagles. And yeah, I think, those are they give you these little clues here and there. You should probably take them sometimes, right?
Our good friend David, PHL Eagle News, Birds of the Round Table, actually did the research on this. If you went back like the last I forget how many years it was. It was like 10 years. Like Howie Roseman's drafts.
Yeah.
Where would the Eagles rank in terms of RES?
It's funny. I want to say it's probably middle of the pack or even lower.
And it was shocking for me because I'm with you, Pump Man. Like I think at least the eye test would beg to differ, but it was in like the 20s.
Yeah,
among NFL teams.
And I think it's more recently that maybe we're seeing a little bit higher importance to this RAS score. And I know, like I said, DeBona just kind of broke down. I think I actually have it here. It's Donovan Jackson, offensive line from Ohio State. Jalen Travis, again, another O-line, Iowa State. Josh Connolly, Oregon O-line.
That makes sense.
TJ Sanders, D tackle from South Carolina, Ezraku, as we just said. Tyler Barron, the edge from Miami, who's kind of rising up for it. Maxwell Harrison, corner from Kentucky. Jacob Parrish, another corner from Kansas State. Trey Amos from Ole Miss, another corner.
He's solid.
And then finally Jalen Reed, safety out of Penn State. Those all fit the top 30 and 8.0 and above.
Nice. Marshawn watched a lot of Trey Amos highlights. He's solid, man. He's like a round 2 guy for me. There's some fun corners in this draft that maybe we'll get to later in the show. Are you surprised Clint Hurt didn't get an interview for a DC position?
I am actually, because I think he did a lot with a little, I think again with the whole Huff debacle, he had to pivot, and he still made it work. It took a little while, but towards the end of the year, man, I mean those boys were humming, especially Nolan Smith. He was on another level.
Yeah, he did a terrific job with Nolan Smith, man. Terrific job. Oh, there's an alarm going off.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. What's up, Ruben?
I set my alarm for the 9 o'clock show that we didn't have.
Nice. Pump Man says we're drafting an OT.
Man, get out of here.
The only two offensive linemen I would be okay drafting in the first round, it would be Gray Zabel,
Yep.
and it would be Armand Membo.
Yep.
Those are Membo. I think is going in the top 10.
Yeah.
He's wide
Agreed.
far my first OT on my big board, and then I think if all else fails, just drafting Gray Zabel would be fine. It would be fine. I think he's got big time upside. I think he can play anywhere on the offensive line, and those guys, he just fits the Eagles really well.
Yeah. He kind of is my every year. I kind of really like an offensive lineman that kind of is versatile and can kind of play all over the line. And usually it's not from a big school, and he fits it for me. So he's definitely a guy that, as much as I would be disappointed that we're going O-line, I actually would be all right with the Zabel pick.
Yep. Robert says Walter Nolan or James Pierce.
Hell
We got
yeah.
a safety in the second round. We're about to talk about our favorite prospects for round 2 here. Maybe he comes up a safety in this area. Don't forget Kevin Winston out of Penn State, and I agree. He's coming on. His pro day was very solid. The buzzes seem to be pointing upward for Kevin Winston right now. He was a first-round prospect before the season started.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Take any DT as long as you get rid of Jordan 7 tackles. Jordan Davis? I like Jordan Davis. I don't see Howie drafting the 5th ranked DT or the 7th edge at 30. I disagree. I think that's the strength of this draft. I think that the pattern we have seen is you need to jump on a defensive tackle or edge early. Rounds 1 and 2, I think they highly likely they double dip because I think there's going to be a massive run. It's not a good quarterback year. It's not a good draft in general. And I think the quality is D-line and running back. And that's where we're going to see some fun ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, those are two positions we have no, the quarterback is one that we don't need. Running back's one that we don't need.
Yep.
That's all you can hope for is everybody rushing to the table to grab those guys.
Yep. Josh Connolly, I would not like that pick. A lot of people are high on him. I get it. Good athlete, but I would go a different direction. Yeah, we started a little earlier today.
All right. Blame Rob.
Plans. Sorry, Rob.
Blame Rob.
Is Howie going to pull some draft day heroics? That's the thing. If they do it again, they're going to be set up really well.
I mean, think about it this way, right? Right now we're going on 2 years of grabbing our first 2 picks being stud first rounders that we didn't just get, that early. I mean, we got Carter and Nolan, and then we got Q and Coop. Like, I'd love to do it again. Let's do it again.
This is actually a topic a little bit later, Krabby. We'll get to that in a second. Our top trade up guys. Gray Zabel would be incredible. Zabel can play center, guard, tackle, you name it. He's got the most experience playing snaps at all those positions than any other prospect in this draft.
Yeah.
And he's also 6'6" and like a mauler. Makuba, all right, let's get into this thing. For pick number 64, I'll lead us off. I think, even though I said double dip at defensive line, I'll lead us off with a different direction. I think the no-brainer pick for the Philadelphia Eagles would be Mason Taylor. 6'5", 255 pounds, an elite level athlete, fluid mover, doesn't have a lot of production, has the bloodlines, but the most receiving yards he's had in the game ever was in 2023 with 88. So one of the few inline tight ends in this draft. I saw a stat that the Eagles didn't utilize their tight ends for pass blocking as much as I thought. It was, I think, somewhere like 16, which blew my mind, and I threw that to Shane this morning because it didn't make sense to me. but it's more like 100. But anyway, Mason Taylor, I think, is a very solid blocker. He's not going to turn 21 until May. Measured in really well, really long or solid wingspan and length. I think as a guy that can stretch defenses vertically, as a guy that can also do his job in the run game, I like Mason Taylor quite a bit as a future tight end 1.
Yeah, go ahead. Give him to me as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, come on now. You know I wasn't getting out of here without having a couple of tight ends, you know?
Yeah. All right. Let's roll on to my second one. And I am going to stick with the defensive line, and he's one of my favorite trade back targets. We're going to be talking trade up tonight, but for trade back situations, one of my favorite dudes is Braden Swinson, edge rusher out of LSU, 6'4", 255. I mean, he has what you're looking for: a great length, great traits, explosive prospect. As a base, his foundation as a run defender is really solid. He just needs to, build upon that pass rush skill set, and I think he'll do just fine under Vic Fangio, working on that with Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith. But really good size again, and I think he can drop back in coverage. I think he's just a great fit.
And we really should have talked about this.
Oh no, you had him too.
I double dipped on LSU there. Everything you just said. He's got this rare athleticism. He's got such amazing speed, but also has just again a great burst, great first step. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of rawness that certainly needs to be developed. I think one of the negatives that I have, the top one I've read about him and seen, is that he's not very great when going up against RPO. Kind of takes the wrong route, wrong guesses there. But I think, hey, listen, I already did that there, Pumper. Okay, we just happen to like a lot of the same guys.
That's what Ryan does. He just copies what I say.
Yeah, clearly. I do. He's a guy that, again, I think because of you, I started looking into more, and he's been certainly rising up my board for sure. And I think he'd be a great late round 2 grab.
Yep. Potman likes Braden Swinson. He also likes in JT Tuimoloau.
Yeah.
I think you're higher on JT than I am.
Yeah, a little bit. I think, again, I like, he didn't have the greatest 2024, but I liked his 2023 certainly a lot better.
Yeah, he's just so up and down, man. He's got a long way to go in terms of consistently being dominant. Potman likes Terrence Ferguson more than Taylor. I think I would be very good with Ferguson round 3.
I'd be pretty good with that.
I hope, Jace. I hope they take Starks, man. I hope. I think my guess is Justin Simmons is an Eagle here. Once the second the draft ends, they're going to say, we have announced Justin Simmons to the Philadelphia Eagles just so they don't waste the comp pick. Yeah. Eagles trade the Vikings for pick 24, 32, and our second. And next year.
That's a lot.
Wait a minute. Eagles trade the Vikings for pick 24 for the 32nd pick, our second, and next. No, it's way too much, dude.
Way too much.
If you're going 32 to 24, you're probably only looking at like a 3rd round pick, I think.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, with the Eagles, since they're a late 3rd round pick, it might be a 2nd, just given the fact that they're a late 2nd, but that should certainly do it.
Yeah. Justin Simmons sounds like, I agree. Ryan, is Dibes ever going to get good at drafting?
Oh, wow.
Davey's always coming at me with daggers.
Davey comes out with the heat.
All right, let's go to my last one for round 2. No surprise here. We've talked about him 1,000 times. Andrew Makuba, safety out of Texas. Just a versatile chess piece. like Cooper. I'm not comparing the two, but can do a lot of different things on the field. He can drop back deep in coverage. He can play on the line of scrimmage, in the box, in the slot. He would be awesome with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. He just pops off the tape every time you watch the Texas Longhorns defense right there with Anthony Hill. Man, just excellent as a back-end defender. He's got twitch. I think his RES score was in like the mid 8.5, like something along those lines. Very good tackler. His ability to thrive in a zone-heavy scheme is why he's high on my board, man. So Andrew Makuba, who'd you have?
So I had a guy that I keep reading that people are starting to sour a little bit on him, not a lot, but it's the same position actually, and it's Xavier Watts.
Yeah.
He's kind of I always thought he was kind of like an early to mid second, but again, for whatever things that I've been hearing, I feel like maybe he might be able to slip to us, even if anything, perhaps a slight move up to grab him. He's a guy that I've loved for the last couple of years, and I certainly know you know all about his 2023. But he has just an amazing ability to read the play, read the defense, and he absolutely is a thumper. Great ball skills, violent hands. When in run support. And yeah, I think he's just he's a guy that honestly I think Eagles fans would fall in love with. And you're right. There's going to be a lot of safeties on this, and maybe we get Justin Simmons afterwards. Either way, but I would love either Watts or Makuba for sure. I've certainly been a fan of Makuba. When he was Clemson, moved to Texas. So yeah, I'm great with either of those choices. That's for sure.
I have a feeling Robert is a Penn State fan. Yeah. No, I like Kevin Winston too.
Yeah, I do too.
It sucks we didn't get anything to watch in 2024.
Right.
But going back to Watts, I think he's without a doubt the best coverage safety in this draft. Yeah. And that's important because what's Reed Blankenship really good at? Like he's kind of good at like playing close to the line and tackling and capitalizing on opportunities. But I think as a ball hawk, Xavier Watts is such a good prospect, man. All he does is make plays.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he had certainly a better 23, but man, he was
he's awesome.
He's an absolute vacuum. Interceptions for days. Love him.
All right, let's go to pick number 96 before we move on to our next segment. I'll lead us off. The guy I really like over the last month or so, his name is Olawafemi Oladejo. Femi Oladejo. Really good size. He's an edge rusher linebacker from UCLA. He was awesome in the Senior Bowl and tested out really, really well. 6'3", long and lean. Negative-wise, he's a bit of a tweener, and he doesn't have a lot of experience at the edge position. Like his pass rush moveset has a long way to go from a technical standpoint. What's up, Clint Hurt? But I think he fits the Philadelphia Eagles like ability in the area where he's a solid run defender. That's his base. That's his bread and butter right now. And I think it could be a target for the Birds sometime round 3, like Jalex Hunt, a guy that needs to improve as a pass rusher. But man, the traits, the explosiveness, the versatility, he can drop back in coverage. Is exactly what the Eagles are looking for. So that's my first for number 96.
Nice. Yeah. So I am going to actually go to the offensive line here. I'm going to go with one, Mr. Tate Ratledge.
Oh, man, I love it.
This guy, I mean, you just look at this dude, and he just looks like a perfect guard in the NFL, somebody that I think would fit in with this squad here. Tate out of Georgia. You can never go wrong when you're drafting SEC, especially Georgia. But this dude is powerful. He's got great hands, able to, just absolutely disrupt edge rushers and D tackles alike. Great in pass protection. Certainly somebody that's very extremely reliable, but he's got a bit of a nasty streak. He's a smart fellow, but man, he is powerful and just he jumps off the page as somebody that's absolutely gonna put somebody on their ass. Certainly has a little bit of technique that he could improve on. That's why we all go to Statland U. But I think this guy could easily come in right now if the Eagles are, a little wishy-washy on what they're going to be doing. This guy could come in and start right away.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. He fits the Eagles like blue collar, offensive line so well. Like he'll be right there chugging beers with like Cam and all these guys and Landon.
He'll be putting on the overalls real soon. He probably already owns a few pair.
Rufus says Xavier Watts has a lot of Malcolm Jenkins. I don't think Howie's going to trade in the second to trade up. He would give up a third, I believe, to go up to 25. Okay. Watts is too old. Tate might move into the second round. I have Tate Ratledge in like my top 50 prospects. Like I think he's
I love Tate for sure, and I think he might be a second round guy, but I don't know. There's a possibility he falls into the third. So
yeah. All right. Next up, give me Danny Stutzman. Danny Stutzman, 6'4", 241 pounds. I don't understand the hate. PFF. JV has the daggers for me, but PFF has the daggers for Danny Stutzman. I don't understand why he's so low on the board. All the dude does is make plays. If you watch any Oklahoma game, he's the first guy that pops. He's always around the football. Needs to work on his coverage skills, but as a run defender, filling gaps, he's just a great tackler. Good processor, amazing range, kind of like Patrick Wilson back in 2024. Just flies around the field, man. I think he would be so fun to watch. Stutzman in Midnight Green. Give me Danny Stutzman.
Love that. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I've seen Stutzman before, the fourth round and on PFF. That's for sure. They hate them some Danny Stutzman. But the next two guys I'm going to go with are, if you've watched even 3 seconds of me talking about prospects, you'll know these next two gentlemen. And I'm going to go with the first one because I know there's no chance in hell that Dive said to the third one. So I'm going to go with Trey Harris, wide receiver out of Ole Miss. You can tell that I love me some Ole Miss. In fact, I would take pretty much any prospect from Ole Miss at this point. But Trey Harris fell in love with this dude last year where he just kind of popped off the screen and exploded for like 200 yards one game. Dude's an absolute one of the best deep route guys. Doesn't necessarily have blazing speed, but man, just absolute is a deadly tracker. Got just soft, natural hands. He can get physical in the red zone, when he needs to. Smart, great field awareness, and loves to block. Would certainly come in and fit right in with the wide receivers we have. Like I said, not the greatest speed, certainly, especially up the line. Could use a little bit of upgrade, a little burst there. And route tree is a little bit limited, but this is a guy that I think would fill that third wide receiver role instantly. Not that we, use it, but oh wow, okay, pumper. Jeez, that was rude. Well, look, I love Trey Harris, and I want the Eagles to draft him regardless because I don't like our options after
Yeah.
Smith and Brown, personally.
Yeah, I guess it would be an amazing value pick. I mean, I have Trey Harris in my top 10. That's how high I am on him. But I don't like the life.
I don't see. I haven't seen him too many times in the second round.
Yeah.
For things, I would certainly grab him in the second. That's for sure. But maybe last to the third. I don't know.
All right. Last but not least, I'm going back to the offense. And I got to get me a tight end. There's not a lot of tight ends in this group with tight end one upside. And I think Gunnar Helm out of Texas is one of the guys last on this list that has tight end one upside because he's a balanced prospect. He's a very good blocker, good receiver, knows how to get open, sneaky fluid lateral mover, good body control, adjusts to the ball. He's got a lot of time playing with Quinn Ewers, so he's adjusted to many balls in the middle of the field.
Man, why is Quinn Ewers taking strays? Good Lord.
A lot of versatility. He can play with his hand in the dirt, off the line as an H-back. You can flex him into the slot. Didn't have the greatest combine. I thought his testing numbers would be better, but dude, he ran on a sprained ankle. So I think he is just a very good, balanced prospect. And I've always been a big fan. He's pretty high on my tight end rankings.
Yeah. No, he's certainly a guy that's risen in my rankings as well. I would certainly love to grab him in the third. That's for sure.
I can't unsee. He had a
hurt.
Pump man, go look up Gunnar Helm and he even showed a picture of his ankle and it was like huge. It was so swollen. Check it out.
And also, Trey Harris is not a diva, by the way. Just because you go to Ole Miss doesn't mean you're all like AJ Brown. In fact, he seems to be quite the opposite from what I've garnered about people and how they talk about him. So,
all right. Well, who's your last guy?
So, listen, I'll give you $1 million if you can guess who this next person is.
$1 million?
Yeah.
We're going to shake on it?
No. Because you should be able to get this quite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. I'm on the spot.
Come on, third round. Who have I been talking about for months?
It's got to be a linebacker.
It's my second favorite position.
Tight end? No?
Maybe.
Oh, it's Harold Fannin Jr.
There it is. There it is. Mr. Harold Fanning Jr. out of Bowling Green. This dude put up video game numbers this past season. Absolute insane route runner who's got great hands, great tracking skills, great yak ability, and just kind of has that feel as a tight end, as you see. Again, I'm not trying to compare, but the ability like a Travis Kelce, where you just sit in those soft pockets in the zones, he's able to do that as well. He has that ability for sure, and just, big play ability as well. And he's done it against top competition. I know that everybody's kind of scared about the small school thing. Certainly a little bit undersized. Certainly needs a little help as a blocker. But I think again, a little bulking up and a little coaching up. I think all of those things will be fine. And yeah, as a NFL tight end, he certainly does need to expand some of his route trait. But other than that, honestly, this guy's a natural pass catcher, and he absolutely dominated college football at the tight end position. Just like I said, putting up ridiculous numbers.
Moving on.
Oh, snap. Wow.
I'm there with Pump Man. I would not like that selection.
I would. I'd love it. Again, it's the third round. What are you expecting? You're not getting gold. You're not getting first round. You're going to get guys that need some coaching up, and you have somebody who has a natural ability that not many people have. I just think all the other stuff could be coached. He'll be fine. What was his excuse for? He's a tight end. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't need a blazing fast tight end.
Yeah, but if you're not a blocker, you got it.
Believe me,
he can
run past linebackers all day. He can run past linebackers all day. They're not slowing him down. Please.
All right, that wraps it up. That was our top 3 prospects for every pick, day 1 and day 2. Let's go to our next segment. If the Eagles trade up, who are your favorite trade up targets? I put out the poll earlier today. What will the Eagles most likely do with their first round pick? 49% say the Eagles will trade up. There's a lot of buzz with Howie trading up, with especially considering like 5 top 100 picks in 2026, and all these comp picks. Man, there's so many comp picks coming.
Yeah.
Who's your trade up guy? Do you have a favorite trade up target?
Yeah. I think a realistic trade up target would probably be that's tough because I think right now more than other years there's so much. This guy could be there at 32. Oh, there's no way this guy gets out of 15. But I'll say somebody like maybe like I know they'll never do it for a safety, but Eman Worry.
Really? Well, my guy is Malachi Starks.
I mean, again, yeah, you could do that. I've seen him be there at 32. I've seen him, top 15. That's kind of who I was talking about. Yeah, Starks is certainly a great prospect. Yeah, I think somebody like him, maybe like a Michael Williams.
Michael Williams makes a lot of sense.
There's just a lot of, I don't know. I mean, think about last year. Think about how wild last year was, and how it didn't go any which way that anybody thought was going to go. I mean, you didn't have a defensive player taken until 15. No one saw that coming. So I don't know. I think lately the draft has just been such a weird crapshoot that I think Howie's been great at staying where he needs to stay. Again, he's only traded up a spot or two when needed. I don't think he's going to do much more than that. If he does, again, if it's like 28th pick, and he's got a couple of guys out, that he's cool with drafting, he's not going to do anything. But if he's got maybe only one left, I can see him coming up a couple of spots. But I don't think he's going up any more than any big jump. I don't think he's going up more than 6 spots. That would be wild.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Somewhere in that like 25-ish range makes a lot of sense. I like Malachi Starks because I'm biased. Like it's for a Vic Fangio defense, that safety spot is so important.
So important.
And I am not good with Sidney Brown as of right now. And I think Malachi Starks is a blue chip prospect. I do have him listed as a blue chip guy. And I would love to see him in midnight green. So we have a comment. Well, hold on, a bunch of comments. Thanks for joining, Antonio. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what up?
Potman says James
with that.
Nolan. Oh man, I would love it. Starks per Antonio. Starks.
Everybody's so slow to pump her. Good Lord.
His RES score was like 8.4, something like that. He's not slow. I'm only trading up for Starks, Green, or Warren. Oh my gosh, if Tyler Warren falls.
Yeah. I don't know about Green.
Mike Green is off the board. He's not.
I get it. On the board. Yeah, he's gonna be super high. But you're right. With everything going on with him, Howie has come out and said it. If you have anything like that, we don't even look at you.
Yeah. So I
he's
wouldn't
out.
expect that. James Pierce Jr. number one.
Would love it.
Be all on board for that. I don't see any NFC teams helping out straight up.
I don't know. They keep doing it, don't they? They keep doing it.
I mean, if you had to like put together all of our mock drafts I've done on PFF, like 99% of them are trade back than trade up.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's just, I think it's such a crapshoot, and there's so many guys that I think we're all kind of, pretty high on as far as wanting to grab. I don't know why we would, why you would trade up in the mock draft world, that is,
Yeah, I stand mistaken. Pumpman was right. 5.45 RS score for Malachi Starks. That's interesting. Yeah, they're maybe he does fall to the Eagles at 32. That's interesting. I did not know that. So there's that. I still think like the tape from 2023 is so good, man. It's so good. Anyway, are we good to go? Move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
What is the sneakiest position of need for the Eagles in the 2025 NFL draft? Like, what's the position you'd be like, didn't see that coming? With like a premium asset, with like a premium pick. For me, it's cornerback. You look at, I know you're higher on Keely Ringo than I am, but like, I think cornerback is a sneaky need. Keely Ringo is going to play a lot next year. I think Adoree Jackson is a better fit on Vic Fangio's defense than Keely Ringo. I think Adoree Jackson is a much better coverage corner than Keely. I think Keely's more of a press guy. The Eagles don't run a lot of press, and like big picture wise, if Keely Ringo like pops, like the Eagles will probably not be able to afford him because they've got so much money coming down the line with Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and Q and Coop and all these guys and Reed, and it's the list goes on and on. So like big picture wise, like a first round, second round selection, Maxwell Hairston, Trey Amos, Siobhan Rebel Jr. There's some outside cornerbacks in this draft that could fit really well. And you got them for 4 or 5 years. It kind of makes sense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, I mean, you're right, because you have Q and Coop, for the next 3-4 years. You need to figure out that other position. That certainly would be a need that I definitely don't see coming. I'm gonna still say linebacker. As much as I think it's more of a need, I just, again, given the history, given who's there or who may be there. Are you doing shots? What are you doing over there? It looked like you were just doing a shot. So yeah,
that's a nerd.
Oh, gotcha. I'll say linebacker, because I think like Walker and Campbell won't be there. So I'd be shocked if they would trade up for them, given the fact that everybody knows 1979, last time we drafted a linebacker.
Center. Oh my God. I mean, Gray Zabel can play center.
Yeah.
I like Gray Zabel. Like if the board like completely falls apart and like all the run on DTs and edge rushers was wild at 32, how we can't find a trade partner to trade back or trade up. I am so good with Gray Zabel. Like that is just it's like Derek Harmon. Like I'm good.
Yeah, and that's why I think the trade up scenario might not be, something that, again, the poll shows otherwise. But I feel like there's so many great prospects that's going to be in that area that Howie certainly, maybe obviously prefers one over another, and that's why he would maybe move up a few, given who might be ahead of him, their needs, etc. But I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he just let the board fall where it falls. He's been pretty good at that with the craziness of everything, and pick a guy that he's higher on than the rest of everybody, and there's a reason why he is higher on that person than everybody else is because how he's good at this thing.
Rufus thinks Josh Connolly Jr. Is a sneaky pick. Wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think tackle first round would surprise me, given the fact that they just extended Lane, given the talk of Lane and everything that he keeps saying. Like, it still feels like a couple of years away. And if that's the case, why the hell are you going to draft somebody in the first round, especially a tackle? Again, a Zabel, whatever, that's fine. He can play anywhere. You shove him at right guard, kick him outside if you want to, and Lane retires. That's fine.
Yep.
But a straight up tackle seems irresponsible, and Howie doesn't seem to do that too much anymore.
Barrett Carter from Clemson, from Big Sarge. He's more of a day 3 guy, I think.
Let's go. I'll take that.
I'm going to clip that. Absolutely.
Let's go.
Cam Jurgens with a chronic back injury.
Cam
Jurgens is about to get a fat extension, man.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not send him off to the old folks home just yet. Jesus.
Rufus says, I don't think
Zabel, negative today.
Yeah, Zabel is my number 2 offensive lineman, right after Armand Membo. I think he's terrific. Tyler Booker is excellent. Booker's fine. Connolly, I don't like the players at the top, the offensive lineman at the top of this draft. There is some quality depth like Charles Grant and guys like that. Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota, I believe. He's very solid, excellent run defender. Would be solid as a day 2 guy.
Who is
Charles Grant? Charles Grant.
Who's the guy? And I don't know how to pronounce his last name. From Arizona, Jonah
Savin something. Yeah, I can't.
He's pretty versatile. Again, not a first round guy by any means, but again, I could certainly see day 2 being a versatile selection. So. Brian. I'm watching the bum Phillies. Well, I mean, listen, this is what I'm wearing right now. So yeah, I get it.
They're a hard watch. I was saying before. They're like borderline Sixers territory here with it's true, man. They cannot hit with runners in scoring position. Like they fail so hard at that. And I don't understand what Kevin Long does. Like, what does he do? It's literally his job, and they have not corrected anything. But let's roll on. Favorite day 3 targets for the Birds. I'll go quick. Let's do this quick.
Okay.
Can you get a comment?
I just saw the little thing underneath your name.
Oh yeah, I don't even know where.
I did that.
Somebody put that there. That wasn't me. That was you.
Yeah, I did that when I was changing all of Rob's stuff because. He was because Pomper and God, I'm blanking.
All right, let's go. Favorite day 3 prospects for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll lead us off. Give me Noel Williams, cornerback, out of Cal. He's a really fun one. Has excellent athleticism. Thrives in zone coverage with his back to the quarterback. He can locate the ball. Strong corner, had 19 reps on the bench press at the combine. That was the second most. 4.5 40-yard dash, 33-plus inch vertical jump, 10-foot broad. Solid RS score, 8.32 out of 10. Needs to improve as a run defender, but good size, good ball production. A guy that could, battle Keely Ringo for that starting outside corner spot. Give me Noel Williams. I think he's solid.
Yeah. Dang. That's a real good one. I actually thought of him as maybe somebody who can kind of sneak into a day 2, but yeah, it's a darn good one. Let's say.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
All right, another guy I really like, and I think he fits the Eagles really well, is Ty Robinson. He's a defensive lineman. He's massive, dude. He's 6'6", 288 pounds, out of Nebraska, elite athleticism. Older prospect. He's going to be 24 his rookie year. But, man, like, he could play inside. He could play outside. He had good production there for Nebraska. His RES score was 984 out of 10. There was one play where he hit 20.6 miles an hour at the combine. Like, his size and speed is pretty wild. So I just think he's a very solid, like, 3-4 defensive end who could be a good run defender, needs to work with his pass rushing, but has all the tools and traits that could be like a solid addition. And he's got great size. Like, I think the Eagles need size on the D-line, and he's got that. Ty Robinson's a really fun one. And then last but not least, I'm going to go Zav Frazier, another cornerback. You know, you're looking for a corner developmental starter to throw in there. Zav Frazier out of, I believe, UTSA is tall, 6'3", 189 pounds, dominated at the combine, 4.36 40-yard dash, a 10-yard split of 151, 4.26 in the 20-yard, and a 7 in the 3-cone drill. 9.28 raw athletic score. Developmental prospect, has all the tools, the length, the ball skills, and he's actually a really good run defender. So he's another outside corner prospect that would be a fun addition in that day 3 range.
Yeah. I'm going to go with David Walker, edge from.
He's old. He's a little older. He's pretty old.
He is. But still, I do like him as, you know, again, if they don't grab anybody on the edge in the first couple of rounds, certainly would be something to look at. I know I am a big fan of Deion Walker as well. I think he'll probably be there maybe mid round 4. Maybe he'll survive to late round 4.
That's a good one.
Certainly like him. And then, you know, a guy that, again, it's not really a position that we need, but man, I'm just so intrigued by the raw potential of Ollie Gordon. You know, again, I don't, it won't happen. But man, he's a guy that I want to, like, fast forward 5 years and just see, you know, if he lived up to the insane potential that he once had. So, yeah.
We have Rufus saying Holland Pierce. That would be a great pick as well. Love that. Antonio said Malachi Moore.
Yeah, okay.
Great fit. You know, kind of that same CJ, GJ ilk, like, guy that can thrive in the slot. I would like that pick a lot. Jacob Parrish, we covered him on this channel. He's another very good developmental defensive back. Teddy Buchanan, man, Antonio.
I like him, yeah. Jeez, Antonio's done his homework.
Yeah, and
Teddy Buchanan, yeah.
One of the better coverage linebackers in this draft. Kobe Turner, good one. Mello Dotson. I don't know who that is. All right. And it would be kind of like, I would kind of be sad to miss out on, like, one of these running backs. Like, it's such a generational running back class. You have guys like Bashal Tootin, an elite athlete, really good upside as a dual threat running back. You have Damian Martinez, who has 3-down upside. You have Jaden Blue, tested really well. There's going to be a lot of fun running backs available on day 3 because the group is so ridiculously deep.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I think that's also part of why. Hey, little G.
Come on, little G. Thanks for
Yeah, it's part of why I said Gordon, man. I just I'm excited about him. I'm excited about the Ohio State boys. Yeah, there's a lot to love in that running back room.
All right. Last but Do you like Blue? Yeah, Shane Blue. I mean, he's a great athlete, and Texas is kind of like becoming known for pumping out these running backs.
They kind of are.
All right, our last segment of the night. We finally did it. Our greatest plays of all time tournament is over, Ryan. It's over. With the Philly special getting the W.
I won!
Over BG strip sack.
I won! Woo! Let's go!
So there it is. No plays from the recent Super Bowl made it to the championship.
Yeah, the Final Four was what? Coop, pick 6, and what was the other? Dagger.
Dagger.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, listen, the first Super Bowl is always going to have a special place in many people's hearts. And, you know, we saw how much the recency bias took over this tournament.
Yeah.
You know, Rob, I'm sure could talk about it for about another 3 hours. I'm glad to know that the first Super Bowl won out. You know, 2 of the great plays from that Super Bowl. But first pick, first round, gets the win. I call it, baby. Let's go.
I wish I could go back in time and relive that moment.
Right? Like
the first time.
Right.
I personally don't remember it. I
think that whole night
one too many cocktails and
I blacked out just with pure like happiness, I think.
Yeah.
Which might have been the first thing ever, but
I remember waking up after the first Super Bowl win the next morning and like immediately going to my phone and YouTubing it and being like, did this actually happen?
Yeah. In fact, I don't think I went to sleep that night. I was too busy partying on Broad. Literally.
Krabby says, I'm pissed that the Dawkins hit on Crumpler or Bettis one.
Was it the Bettis one? I forgot which one. Yeah, but I believe me, I am too. Rob was still furious. That's probably partly why he's not here.
Yeah.
Kids these days. Yeah.
So that wraps it up. Ryan, final thoughts on the draft, whatever you want to talk about.
I would just like to thank myself for winning yet another tournament. Thank you, people. You seem to vote for me, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you all. And if I ever meet you and you come up and you say, you know, I voted for you in one of those mock drafts against Dives that haunts him every night. Well, you know what, sir? I'll go buy you a beer. So as far as the draft, I cannot wait. We are 10 days away. I cannot wait to get everybody together. Can't wait to have you all enjoy us once again watching the draft live. It'll be a fun night. Hopefully, it'll be just as amazing as last year, and I can't wait to work on the our top prospects list at work tomorrow instead of working. So,
Krabby, we literally vetoed.
We did.
Several of the losers to make sure they went on to the next round, and they still lost. It didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. We saved it, and then it just lost again. It was really bad. So it clearly lost for a reason.
Yeah. It's what it is, and that's how I expected it. Ryan just pulled a Fred C and thanked his hands. Oh,
I appreciate you getting that, Rufus.
Just waiting for the draft is killing me. We are this close to putting together our draft guide.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. It's got so much information. So we'll be putting that out. It's free. And be on the lookout. We will be going live for the draft watch party over at Eagles Pinpool. And we'll be We've got highlights. We've got graphics, scouting reports, every RES scores, spider charts, you name it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll start promoting that momentarily. But yeah, so expect a Thursday, Friday for sure draft watch party. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's sad because I don't. That's all I do. It's literally all I do is the NFL draft. And it's almost here. Crowdy wants a live.
I would love to do a live disagree to agree. We got a couple. I don't know if they got pulled up today, but there were a couple of ones that we filmed a few days ago that should be up momentarily if they aren't already. But hey, who knows? The people want it. We might have to give it to them.
I was squirming on that Sixers one, man. Squirming.
I knew you would too.
Oh, there's a new DTA on whether or not Nick Nurse should get fired. The entire organization, not just Nick Nurse, Daryl Morey, just got it all. Just got it.
Josh Harris too. Get him rid of him.
Oh yeah, Josh Harris.
Love Draft Day. I love that movie. I have
the Sixers organization would burn to the ground, and Josh Harris would have no idea that it's gone.
None.
No idea. Yeah. Draft Day is an underrated movie, man.
Seriously, one of my favorites. I absolutely, and I just love the cinematography of it, like going into the next frame, and yeah, it's really cool. You got time for the next D2A? They all should be. Rob was going to post them, right?
No, he didn't. But I have one more to put up. So
okay. Well, they're coming soon for you, Krabby. Don't worry, buddy. We got you.
Brandon, if we start talking Sixers, we're gonna lose like 50 subscribers by the
but that D2A episode will get a lot more.
Fourth year in a row, I'll be on here for the draft. Awesome. Again, we'll be over at Eagles Pin Pool, so make sure you go there and subscribe. It'll be Ryan, myself, David, Mark Henry Jr., and Shane, of course.
Yep.
So that'll be a blast. TJ Watt.
Did you hear about that?
What happened?
That somehow being linked to the Eagles, that the Eagles would trade for TJ Watt.
Where did that come from?
I have no freaking idea, but I've been hearing about it enough to know that it came from somewhere and people are running with it. So
he's going to leave a message on the Nick Nurse show.
That's good.
All right. But anyway, speaking of Sixers, I have covered 11 NBA draft prospects. Please, God, for the love of God, hit on that pick. I just need to get that pick so bad. That draft lottery is not until like next month, so we got some time.
Oh, okay. So what do you know what we would pick right now?
So right now they're fifth, and they're locked into fifth, which means they have a 64.5% chance of keeping the pick, and they have a 10.5% chance of getting Cooper Flag.
Okay.
So there's still a chance.
So can they get? I don't know what is the season
top
over?
Top six protected.
Okay, so is the season over or something, or can they get
season
worse?
Just ended, yeah.
Ah, dang.
Yeah, not dang. So it was the worst season.
Oh well, yeah, but I was saying dang because they could lose more, and try to get top three.
Yeah.
But all right, well,
yeah,
hey, maybe the gods will help us out again. And
yeah. I only have one more guy to cover in my lottery, and that is Colin Murray Boyles. I'll cover him momentarily, but I definitely he's a really good defensive prospect, and be on the lookout for that. I have some takes on the draft as well, so I'll probably do some ranking like shorts on my favorite Sixers targets. And
there you
go. Don't expect a ton of coverage with the draft, as years past, but it is what it is. So go check that out if you love NBA draft. I love covering the NBA draft, man. It's like it's therapeutic for me. My first love was the NBA draft, and it's a lot of fun.
There you go.
So go check that out.
Support Dives and his first love, even though we were all depressed about it.
The Eagles almost won as many games as the Sixers. That's awesome. It's so true.
You can tell how much I give a crap about basketball, honestly.
Yeah,
NBA has just
it's so bad.
It's just such a bad product right now that
It's terrible.
I choose not to watch. So,
College
again, what am I doing? Watching Quentin Grimes and Ricky Council the 17th? Like, who cares? Like, come on, that's not fun.
All right, guys, we're wrapping it up. Here's Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. I'm Dives, Mr. Crackpot. We're going live tomorrow night at Eagles Pinpool for Birds of the Round Table. We're doing a full first round mock draft. We're going to give our analysis and projections for each team, what we think they should do, not what we think is going to happen. So could be some fun twists and turns on that one. That goes live at 8 o'clock. So we will see you tomorrow night. For Ryan, for myself, thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.